All right, good evening. Sorry for the delay. Okay, so let's get started. I know last class we had discussion on our the networking part one, right? And you had week one and week two pre-recorded video you guys were supposed to watch. Any questions from the pre-recorded videos you guys watched?
Yes, I did.
Very
As
good.
of now, I don't have any question.
Very good.
Um, it was pretty clear. Also, I watched the today's week two's video too.
Very good.
So once I'll complete it, if I'll have any doubt, I'll give you a contact or notify
Very
you.
sure. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, it's all clear for now.
Very good. Very good, Simran. Thank you so much, guys. I know the other three they're having work, so they could not make it. So that's fine, not a problem. They just emailed me this morning, so not a problem at all. What I'm going to share is I'm going to share my screen. I know, Banu, you're using Mac, right? So for you, it'll slightly change the commands. Okay. Um, give me 1 second here. Okay. Okay, so remember, not yesterday, sorry, last class we looked at a couple of slides and we were going through the CMD, our terminal, and I was teaching you guys a couple of things in the terminal, right? About the IP address and default gateway and subnet mask, right? We were going through. Are you guys clear with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you a refresher. So just so you know, we just touch base again. It's been a 1 week, right? So we'll just do a small touch and then we'll go forward. Okay. So for Mac, it's called terminal. If you search up terminal on your computer, you'll get the same feeling like CMD. Okay. It's called terminal. You open it up. I'll open up mine. Mine's is CMD. And for the people who's using Windows computer, it'll just be CMD. Okay. Charlie, man, David. Okay. Command prompt. So in there, we're going to type in Windows, you're going to type in ipconfig, but Banu, because you're using Mac, you're going to type in ifconfig, okay? Ifconfig.
Okay.
So in this one, for me, I'm primarily focused on my wireless, okay? Because I am connected through wireless. This screen does not show which one I'm connected through, but I can see in my screen here, it shows wireless. So my main concern here, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit, so just to make it so it's easier for you guys. Okay, perfect. So so if you see here, when you open up CMD and search this, right, it gives you bunch of information. Like it says Internet adapter, Internet adapter 2, Internet adapter 4. These are because my computer, I'm running virtual machines for other classes. So I have multiple virtual adapters. Okay, these are just like created adapters just for that purposes. That's the reason why. Typically on a computer, you'll see 2, sometimes 3. That's the thing. Okay. Typically 2 is fine, sometimes even 1, okay? In our concern here, we're looking at the wireless adapter over here. And we want to see, so in this one, can you guys, one of you guys, whoever it is, can tell me which IP address belongs to me? Just read out the number.
192.168.8620.
Very good. That's the one that I leased from my router, right? That I have for my router. Can you tell me what is my router's IP address?
The default gateway one.
Very good. And what is default gateway used for? What is the purpose of it?
For no. For filtering network, no.
Give the
Oh, no.
access.
Sure.
Sorry, what was that, Simran?
It gives the access from the network provider.
No, not quite that. So think of it this way, okay? Remember we talked about this, right? So if I'm inside my home, any of the devices, I can talk to any other device without the help of a router. I don't need router, okay? But when I want to leave from my home and go to google.com or something like that, my router will act as a middleman. It takes information from here and sees, oh yeah, google.com is there. Go this way. It's like a conductor, right? So that's the reason why the router is needed, okay, to leave my home and access the public Wi-Fi, public internet, where everything is located, right? So that's the reason why the default gateway is important. Without the default gateway, we can still communicate with anything that's in the same, connected to the same router. The router does not do anything. We already know. The reason how we know, it's called, you guys want to maybe memorize this, it's called ARP, A-R-P, okay? It's called Addressing Reservation Protocol. What happens with ARP is all the computer in my home will be like, hey, my name is this. This is like, imagine I have a Lenovo laptop, right? My Lenovo laptop will be like, my laptop. I'm a Lenovo laptop. This is my IP address. Save this information, and just like that, all the devices in my home will broadcast the information out. My computer will capture it and say, okay, the Lenovo laptop is located at dot 18, and it knows it. Give me 1 second. And you can see that by, let me see if this works on my computer. Sometimes it does. Yes, okay. Perfect. So pretty much these IP addresses you're getting here, they're all the devices over here, you see? So these are all the devices in my home broadcasting. I'll be like, hey, my name is this. This is my IP address, save this information. So I don't have to bother the router, I don't have to bother the router. I can have a direct communication with the device itself. There's a device in 23, mine is 20, right? There's a device in 26, there's one in 46. The one is the router, right? It's the router still will broadcast it out, saying, hey, I'm the router, I'm located at this address. It's just like, if you know your neighbors, right, in your own street. Your neighbors will be like, hey, this is my name, I'm located in this house. Same like that, in where this is our neighborhood. This is our neighborhood, okay? And these are all the devices. And what is the physical address? Can someone tell me?
MAC address.
Very good. MAC address, okay? Very good. And what is the meaning of dynamic and static? So dynamic means I'm asking the router, hey, just give me an address, And the router will be like, okay, here for next 24 hours, you can keep this one, right? Or next 48 hours, you can keep this, depending on how the router is configured, okay? Static is I'm telling, okay, I'm going to be at this address. This is my stand, that's static. So these address, and you don't have to go too deep into the networking concept. It's because this is the last network. This is the last number I can ever use in this router. And that's the reason why this is static, because we don't want anything to be taken out from here, right? We don't want this to be used because it's the last one. That's the reason why, okay? The static is when it's assigned manually. Dynamic is mean it's been given to you as a, you ask the router to give it to you dynamically, okay? Automatically assigned, automatically. Now, does this concept confuse you guys, or you guys get it? Like, this is just because your device is just broadcasting now, okay? It's called ARP-A. And I believe there's actually ARP-G as well. Yeah, it's for this current network. So this will show the current network, interface, the Wi-Fi interface. This one, it shows the same thing. It just depends on the Windows version, I believe. The next I want to show you is, remember we did IP config, right? Over here. This shows us very minimal information, right? We can actually get more information like, okay, we're leasing it, because remember, we're on a lease, right? How long is my lease period? How long do I have this IP address for? We can actually see that. The easiest way to do that, and in the command line, if you actually do the up arrow, you can go through all the commands you have typed in before, and down arrow for going down, okay? But if you do space / all, this will give us bigger information. The reason why we don't always do / all is because sometimes we don't need this information. We just want to get the IP address and get it done, right? But sometimes we do want to see a much more like a extended information. So if you see here Wi-Fi adapter, we actually get the Wi-Fi adapter name. This is the Intel Wi-Fi card 6E XAX211 160 megahertz. We actually get the physical address of this card, the Wi-Fi card, okay? The MAC address. This is DHCP enabled. What does DHCP does? There's no wrong answers. Just shoot it and I'll tell you the thing.
Is this a protocol?
It is a protocol, that's correct.
Host.
You don't just tell me what it does. What is it doing?
I exactly don't know the function of this, but I studied this in CompTIA Security Plus when I was going through for the training.
No problem. So what DHCP does, it tells the router, okay, can you give me an IP address? I don't want to set it myself. I'll borrow one from you. If this is set to no, that means it's telling no, I don't want it from you. I'll tell you what I want. You know, that's the attitude it'll take. Okay. So if you see here auto configuration, this means that it'll take the configuration from the router itself. It'll automatically pull the information in and it'll accept the information, okay, from the router. It's saying that I will accept your automatic configuration from the router. Now, this is our IPv4 address. This is our address that's assigned to us, okay? Because we are using DHCP, we're auto configuration, and as well as we've asked the router to give us an IP address, so it gave us an IP address, okay? Now, the subnet mask tells us how many devices are nodes. What are nodes?
Device connected to the network.
Yeah, anything, right? It could be watch, cell phones, computers, anything, pretty much. Anything that can accept internet, right? Our network connectivity, right? So anything. So it tells me I can maximum have 255 nodes. But you can't really have, technically you can't have 255. You can only have 254. Okay. But how this works is there's a huge mathematical calculation. Remember in the previous class I told you IPv4 can maximum have 4.3 billion addresses, okay? And it works by 2 to the power of 255 or something like that. It's a mathematical, you don't have to go that deep down, okay? But even on a home network, we can allow for 4.5 billion connections, but our router can handle that, okay? And I'm not going to have 4.5 billion devices in my house. So that's the reason why we said 255 on a normal human being level home is enough, okay? So which means I can have up to 254 devices supported. My router will not handle 254. Just because it allows it doesn't mean it'll handle, okay? My router will not. But in this one, when you look at it, you know that what this tells, this 0 here, right? Do you see how this is 255? Which means these sides are already full, okay? I cannot use this side. And why this really matters is I'll show you this in a small drawing, okay? Okay. So when you have the 255 like this, okay? So I'll just write down what I had in my dot 0, right? So okay. So I want you to think of this way, okay? This one here is locked. I cannot change this one, okay? It's completely locked. And also this one is completely locked. The only thing on my network which can change is this number over here. And it is because this number is free, it's 0. It tells me this is how it is, okay? So it tells me anything that's, you know, so because this and this matches, I'll show you this one over here. 1 second. So this and this will match. This and this will match. This and this will match. This will match, okay? It's because it's telling I'm already at the maximum capacity. I'm not allowed to change this. Now the next octet, it goes to, these are called octet, okay? It goes to the next octet and says, because I'm out at 255, no, you cannot change this. You are locked at 168. The first one is locked at 192. The second one is locked at 168. And because the third one is also 255, it's locked at 86. I cannot change this. The number I'm allowed to change is this over here until 254. Make sense? That's the reason why. Remember when we did our ARP over here, right? Let me go scroll up. Remember we saw one address, we saw multiple, but remember this one over here, 255? And see this one over here is statically assigned, which means my router said, nah, I'm not giving you this. This is mine, I'm keeping this, okay? And this is called a broadcast address. Broadcast address, okay? Which is used for telling I'm the router, I own this, and it's just like authoritative, okay? This is why the last one is not used, because it's already been reserved by the router itself. That's why we can't use 255. We can only use 254. Okay, make sense? Any questions?
I have one.
Go ahead.
The very first one, I think that's the router's address, right?
Right over here, yeah.
Yeah, this one ending with 1. So router keeps 2 addresses.
Yes. So one is telling, so it's like this, right? So it's saying, this is my address. This is one I'm at, but I cannot go beyond this. It's like at the end of the street. You know, at the end of the street we have a block, right? Which, you know, funny to say, the city owns it, right? The starting of the street, the city owns it. The ending of the street, city owns it, right? It's because they want to put a cap saying that you cannot pass this, because I have to own it. Because if I don't own it, then you'll go beyond it. It's a cap. That's it. Yeah, and that's the reason why it says I'm not giving it out to you.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all. You know, this is just for a small scale explanation, okay? And here as well, if you see 255.255.255.0, if you guys do this command in your computer, you might not see these, because the reason is because my house is set up in a slightly corporate environment way. So I have multiple servers here. That's probably the reason why you're seeing this many numbers. I do have 2 or 3 routers, and I do have a firewall here, right? So which creates a slight complexity to this. But the easiest way to determine here, do you see this MAC address and this one is exact same. Remember one thing we learned about MAC address? Do you remember? It's unique. Every device in the world has its own MAC address. So the only thing that can repeat is if that same device is using it for other purposes as well, right? So, okay. So that's the ARP. And this is why it's important for me to have a router, because I can do the communication with these. Now, I don't need my router to talk to these devices. I can just do a direct connection to the device. The router does not have to act like a middleman. I still need it to be there, but I don't need to use its services. Okay, where I'm using the router is just to going out of my house, going to Google, YouTube, or whatever it is I want to see. Okay, that's good. Okay, that is the basic of sort of a basic of networking. Okay, and on any computer you do, on a Windows computer you go, on Mac too, there's a command for this. Okay, well, you can search it up as well. There is for Mac is ARP commands. Let me get it for you for Mac. Oh, it is ARP A. So sometimes we do share the same commands. Okay. The next one I want to show you is, now we saw I gave you introduction about ARP. I gave you introduction about IP address and how it works. And this, do you guys understand this one? Once you start understanding this one, right, it'll start making more sense when you go slightly into more advanced networking. Why this is important is, can you tell me, one of you guys, if I'm going to do 192.168.86.250, let's do 20. That's okay. That's fine. If I do 255.255.2, now, if you see this, right? So the red one is a network, okay? It's called a network. Let's keep it like that, okay? Which will be my network here? Which 2 octets will be my network?
192, 168, and 86.
No.
Not 86, 192 and 168.
Very
That's
good. Yeah, because remember, I'm allowed to use these, right? So this tells me, hey, you can go ahead and use these now because these are unlocked for you. Okay. So what essentially happens is this. Oh, sorry. This becomes my network now. Now I have larger network now. You see, so the reason why this works is it pretty much. Where is this? So IPv4 address works on an 8-bit scale. Okay, you don't have to memorize this. I'm just telling you for your future. Okay, it works on an 8-bit. Okay, so it's always 2 to the power of 8, but because each of these block. Okay, so if you take this right, this might get confusing. As I said, this is not. I don't want to like make this into networking class, but I just want to make sure that you guys just basic understanding of it. So when you guys go in the future of networking, it'll slightly help you. Okay, so when we see this, right? So remember I told you, and we're just going to look at subnet mask. Okay, this is subnet mask 255. I'm just going to put some space. Okay, so when we look at this, okay, so when we look at this, right? Essentially, what mathematical calculation this is doing is this. Okay, so I want to do is this. So imagine this 255, right? This is that's a 255, 255. This is this one, this 8 this is 8 ones here. Okay, this 8-1 is binary, which converts to 255. 8 ones. Okay, so essentially you'll do the same thing like this, like this. Let me just. Okay, this is what it's converting to, this one. If this is 0, this will just be, instead of this being 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, it will just be 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so it is considered as 2 to the power of 8. So when you do this is 8, 16. There's a calculation goes on, but you can have maximum up to 4.3 billion addresses when you do the mathematical thing, right? As I said, you don't have to memorize this. This is not going to help you in this role right now, but in the future, this will definitely. If you have the understanding of this, it'll definitely get you further. Okay, the binary calculations. That's fine. So that's the reason why IPv4 address are binary, which is zeros and ones, which is the limitations why we are at 4.3 billion. But whereas IPv6, it's 128 bits. If I'm going to draw it here, I don't have the patience to draw it here. And yeah, trust me, I don't want to draw it here, 128 bits like this. Okay, but just because this is 8, that's 128 bits. It's a huge amount of information you can carry. Okay, but essentially what this does is it tells us, and and you might think, okay, why are we doing this? Why don't we just do it as 255.0.0.0.0? You know, why are we just making this big network? What's the whole fuss about it, right? One is, imagine, right, you have a small road. Imagine you have a 2-lane road. One car can go, one car can go this way, right? Imagine you try to fit 20 cars into the same lane. What happens? You have a traffic jam, right? Same thing happens in network too. When you have such a big network and you allow that much traffic to go through one network, your network will get slowed down. Even though you're not doing anything, imagine we have here in the ARP, right? We have what? 13 devices here, okay? This is telling me. Imagine this has 4.3 billion devices. What will happen is my computer will just crash if I try to load this, because my computer mathematically cannot handle this much information. So that's the reason why we split into small chunks. One, for security is better. That's the reason why in CompTIA Security Plus, you will learn about networking is because you have to make it a smaller chunk for security and stability and managing it properly. Okay, when you do network management, that's why even in a big corporate environment where there's like 10,000 people working, you will have a smaller segment. You'll have maybe 10,000 users per network. That's fine, as long as your router's capacity can handle it. It's fine. But like on home routers, 255 is more than enough. You know? Okay, make sense, guys? I know I'm boring you guys on a Sunday and a Saturday evening. Just bear with me, okay? It'll start getting fun. Should I close the CMD? Okay. So now we looked at the ARP, right? ARP-A, which gave us a list. Remember, I told you I will have direct community. I can actually test and see if this device is online or offline. Not online or offline. I can test if I have direct connection to it, if I can connect to it, right? If I can talk to the device. The easiest command, both in Linux or in Mac or Windows, it's called ping. What ping does is just like, poking someone, be like, hey, are you alive? Can I talk to you? You're just doing the test to see if the person exists there. Exists, and can you reach them? And let me see if I can make this big. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So the easiest way for me to do a ping is, let me just show you one thing is, you can do ping for anything that is networkly attached, as long as you know either. Can you tell me what is DNS does? Can someone tell me what is DNS do?
It's a domain name server, and basically checks the domain configuration, maybe.
Okay, so I think you're taking too complex. Think about it this way. Simple is this: when all DNS does is, let's say if I say, hey, I'm located in at minus 4.3 latitude and 6.777 longitude at this time zone, right? You're like, okay, what the hell are you talking, man? Like, are you mental, right? Whereas if I say our office is in 4168 Finch Avenue East, right? The 4168 Finch Avenue East is something that we created that we can convey people who lives here, right? But when you look at it from a galaxy, if I'm telling an alien, if I say 4168 Finch Avenue East, is like, bro, I don't give a shit. Tell me the exact coordinate, Like, it just depends on perspective, right? So for us, human being, it's not easy for me to memorize number. If I'm telling you to memorize, hey, can you, for the rest of your life, can you memorize 192.168.80.20? You're like, no, man, I'm not going to memorize it, How many of us even memorize our own cell phone number nowadays, right? It's so hard. So what DNS does is, you can give it google.com. Example, google.com is actually on an IP address. All it does is DNS takes a name and says, okay, where can I take this name and where is this located? And the name can have multiple IP address location, okay? Because if you're from Canada in this part, google.com can take you to this server. And you can say, hey, if you want to take google.com to the server, and if the server is maybe too much traffic, take him to here. It can have multiple address to take him. So all it's doing is translating a name to an IP address. Okay, that's all. But let's do this. Let's ping the 23, okay, .23. All we're trying to do is check and see if the 23 is available for me to communicate with, to talk
to. Basically, DNS is giving if I'm not wrong, giving in a simple word. It will give you the location of that particular domain.
Yeah, it's just like a translator, right? All it's doing is telling me, okay, let's make your life easier. If you type this in, take me here. That's it. Like, it's like a short code, right? Type of thing. That's all. Okay. Is it because I don't want to remember what server it is? Maybe let's say this, right? If we end up changing a server to a different location, and I have to send you, okay, this is a new number for it. This is a new number. Every 3 months, then I have to send you a new number, right? Rather than that, be like, hey, use this address. Whenever you do use the address, I'll make sure I'll point it to the right server for you. So you'll never lose connection. You'll never have to memorize anything else. It's an easier way for us to manage it,
Okay.
Instead of just IP address. So this one, okay, this is a very good example. When you get request timeout, which means the server is not, server or the node, let's talk about node. The node is not reachable. It's not getting reached. Now, this only gives us a 10% information, okay? And I want to be very, very thing. And when we go straight down this, just this class, you'll understand why I mean this 10% information. This doesn't give us the full information because we don't know where this is getting stopped. We don't know if the computer is actually stopped or not working. What this is telling us is my computer is not able to access 192.168.86.23. And legitimately, it could be that it's not online, which in this case, it's actually not online. It's been turned off a couple of, I think, a couple of hours ago. Let me just check something else. Yeah, this is not. This is probably, okay, let me see my phone. I'm sure my phone will have something. Wi-Fi. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's do this, 37. Okay, never mind. Let's just not do anything internal. That's fine. My house it's a bit weirdly set up, okay? But like, anyways, let's do ping and do google.com, okay? So you saw the failure notice. This is how an actual approved notice will look like because google.com is communicatable, okay? What this telling is we're saying, okay, hey, can you just check and tell me if google.com is reachable? What it's doing is, well, for me to go to google.com, I need to know where google.com is located. Google.com is just an alias. It's just an alias, you know, it's like an AKA, right? Like this is also known as type of thing, right? So pinging google.com, and if you see right beside it, this is actually google.com's IP address that I'm able to access this time. Now, I'll get to this in a little bit, okay? Why I said this time. So this is the google.com IP address. Maybe if you guys try this, you might get a different IP address depending on the location and the timing and those type of things and accessibility too. But it's telling me, okay, so my computer reached out to them and they are sending me a reply. I'm just saying, hey, how are you, Google? And they're replying to me back, like, hey, Atavan, how are you, man? You know, these are reply. This tells us how many bit of information we send them. And this is called ICMP protocol, okay? ICMP protocol, okay? We're sending an ICMP protocol. And ICMP protocol is specially used only for ping. Okay, it's only for ping, that's it. And it's just to check the accessibility, that's all, okay? Reachability, accessibility. And it took us 22 milliseconds to get the reply from them. And this is TTL, this is just used for it's a layered information, which is perfect, okay? So we get 4 replies. Usually Windows will do 4. Linux, you have to actually stop them. To stop this on a Linux, sometimes Mac does it too. I haven't touched a Mac in such a long time, but on a Mac, you still have to stop them. It'll be either Command C or I think either Command C or what is the other one? Control, or is it options? There's Command and there's
Is command and control and option.
Yeah, I think it's Control C or Command C to cancel it. Okay.
Okay.
Now, remember I told you this is only 10% information. We can actually get stopped over here too. When we're trying to ping google.com, you can stop. But remember this, I think I deleted the diagram. Okay, but like that's okay. The good thing is I'm an artist, so I can draw this within a couple of minutes. Okay, just give me a couple of seconds. Okay, remember last time when we created our home network, right? Remember we said this is our home. This is the public. And our router is sitting between right over here, right? It's sitting right over here. It's just chilling. Okay. So google.com is actually, it's located in here. Google.com is right over here, okay? We try to reach out, right? So when we are from here, we're trying to ping google.com. This is my computer, let's say. This is my computer, okay? When it's actually pinging or trying to see if it's reachable, it has to remember, it has to travel from here, go into the router, go into the public world over here, and this checks. So for me, I'm with Rogers. So Rogers will maintain a DNS record. Okay, they'll say that, okay, these are the popular DNS record from the public internet. They'll get it and they'll keep it in their facility to point you out to google.com easily. Okay, so in this case, if I'm coming from here, my router will check with Rogers first. Well, it has to first leave my house over here, right? Leave my router, go out, check with the Rogers servers, and then it needs to travel and go to google.com, right? We can actually see the path it takes. That's the beauty about the beauty about networking. Once you start learning this, the reason why this matters is if the ping just stops, right? It just stops. It only tells us that, okay, it didn't leave. It couldn't touch anywhere, right? But it doesn't tell us the fact that, did it actually leave my computer, or it didn't even leave my computer? Did it leave my router, or it didn't even leave my router? You know? It doesn't give us those information, right? That's what we need to get. And for that, in Windows, you would type in TRACERT, trace RT, okay? But in Mac, I think it's just trace route, I think. Let me check. Yeah, it's trace route, actually trace route, okay? So on Windows, you'll just do, Linux is also trace route, okay? In Mac, you'll do just trace route, but in Windows, we'll just do trace RT. If I type in google.com, right, what we should see is it actually goes to a router, goes to the Rogers, it'll bounce against Rogers, and you'll see it travel through different IP addresses to go to google.com, okay? And reach, this is our destination that we're trying to reach. So let's run this and see, okay? And it does it in hops, it's called. Like it's almost like hopping to different networks, right? So remember this one?
Yes, router's address.
Yeah, and you see this one? This looks weird, right?
Yes.
The reason is because, remember, I said I have a weird setup at home. I have like 2-3 routers. This is one of the last router, because I run cybersecurity classes, and sometimes the students get too advanced and they try to attack me. So I have 2 different. Yeah, let's see. That's the reason why.
Okay.
It's a weird setup. Okay, so if you see here, see left 2 of my routers, which is the one you saw, which is the 86.1, and there's a 1.1, which is my other router, which protects me. Now this one over here. This one is, remember that I told you goes to Rogers to check first. It has to travel to Rogers, and then I'm in Ajax right now. I'm in my home. This is actually going through the Rogers at Ajax. The interception. Remember, I told you Rogers has they have end zones. It's called. So they pretty much in all areas they need to have they'll even if you don't mind me, where are you guys located? Which city?
Brampton.
Okay, so if you go into Brampton, right, somewhere in Brampton, you'll see in sort of like a rural area, you see a small house. It'll be a very small house. Those are called end zones, where Rogers will keep their networking equipments, and pretty much for all areas, there'll be a small, small areas, they'll have a small area for just this networking rack. That is where everything will be routed to, all the cables and everything. This is actually one close to my house, okay? And this goes out to a couple of other IP addresses. And this could be through someone else's resident too, or some other public internet access servers, okay? Bouncing through that. Remember, if you want to come to our office, right, you're not just flying directly to our office. You're going to take right on certain street, and you're going to come on 401, and you're going to take Finch Avenue East, and then you're going to go through some streets and come into us, right? That's exactly what this is doing. But here, when you see a request timeout, it's still going through either that route it's taking, it just could not go, so it had to take another turn and go away somewhere, or the route it's going through is confidential. It's hidden for security purposes, either or, okay? But end of the day, we still reached our google.com, because it said, let's say in this case, worst case worst, the request timeout is because the route was not available. Construction was going on. So it took another route and we ended up in google.com. But we can see a clear map of how it started off in my computer here and ended up in my first router. And second router, I didn't even tell you about. This is something, and this is internal, right? So now, and it went out to google.com. Rogers.com. Rogers is servers to find out where Google.com is located. Who the hell is Google, right? So it's a pool. And it's at my local city, Rogers main intersection. It's a remote, Ajax remote management net Rogers.com. It's their own services that it's going to. And then it went through a couple of other IP addresses to reach Google.com, okay? Remember, this is how, for us, if this gets stopped right over here, let's say it stops right over here and says request timeout and does not land. Or, remember when we did this one over here, right? This gave us request timeout, remember? So if we were to do just, and this is going to be probably offline, trace RT. I don't know why this is leaving my home, to be honest. I think the thing is just messed up. That's okay. Yeah, it's going to Kojigo cable. That seems weird. Okay, that's okay. But okay, in your case, it should not leave your home. It should be in the thing. But essentially, what we are doing is internally, anything that's internal, we can see where it's stopping. It's a direct connection, right? Whereas online, we're going through all these hoops. Let's say at the end of this, it says stop somewhere, right? We need to know, is it on our side? Is it something it's our fault on our side, or is something that's on the other side we cannot do anything about, right? In a lot of times in IT, not a lot of times, there's sometimes in IT where you cannot fix it. It's not on your side to fix. Let's say, and I'll get to this and I'll show you a live demo example why this is the case. Does any of you guys have Bell as a home internet? Rogers or Bell? What do you guys use?
Yes, sir, I do have a Bell.
Yes.
Rogers? Sorry, Govinda, what did you say, man?
Yeah, I have a Bell internet at home.
Very good. Are you at home right now?
No, sorry, I was at
Oh,
work. Just
okay, no problem. Well, I'll show you another demo. No problem.
Okay.
No problem.
Uh,
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
think I have. No, it's Virgin.
Okay. Well, oh, yeah, that's good too. I think we can try that. Yeah, that's fine. As long as you guys are not Rogers, we can try it. Like the reason why I wanna, and I'll explain to you exactly why. And this is where the fun begins. So, remember when I draw this, right? Where is this? Okay, remember when I draw this, right? And I told you an example why the router sits in between. Remember, Rogers or Bell or whatever it is. Remember, there's a cable that comes from the outside to your router. Remember, I told you you get two different IP addresses. One is an internal IP address, which is your private IP address, and you get a public IP address, right? Which is like, imagine on a router like this. And I'm just going to draw this outside over here, okay? 1 second. Let me take this. Do fill. Okay, imagine. Why is this now? Okay, imagine. So this is the black side is our home, and the red side is our public, right? It's dangerous. So let's say this one over here. You get a small connection over here. This is from, I'm going to say Rogers because I have Rogers, okay? It doesn't mean I'm favoring Rogers. I don't care, but just because I have Rogers. And this is our internal, okay, for my home router. We actually saw the IP address. Well, the one you're seeing right now, don't confuse it for the other one you saw, okay? I want to keep that away because it just causes too much confusion. In a normal human being home or household, you don't need to worry about it. So 192.168.86.1, right? Remember? That's the router's IP address, right? That's what I'm giving out over here. But there's a public IP address. Remember I told you, right? The Rogers gives me. How do I get that? That I cannot see from anywhere, right? So the easiest way to see is this. Let me open this up. Okay, so let me open up a new slide over here, new page. I'm just going to go to google.com, okay? The easiest way to see is type in Google, see my IP, see my IP, or what's my IP. This will actually give you the public IP that's you have. So this over here is the public IP that Rogers gave me. And if you guys do it, and if you on your cell phone data as well, if you do it, you'll get a nice cell phone, you'll get a public IP as well. So if I copy this is my, and this gets refreshed every, whatever it is, the time being that Rogers has set. I don't know. But for businesses, they will buy the static IP address. And they made it so you have to buy it for business, and for residential you have to. You can buy it, but it's very extremely expensive. Because remember, they're assigned to you forever, right? This one is DHCP, so they'll switch it if your router is turned off for more than 24 hours, or sometimes they'll even switch it every 30 days. Depends on whatever the protocol they use. Okay, so you see, this is where the two IP address comes in. Okay, one is assigned to me from Rogers because that's the cable that they assign. One is internal in my house. Okay. Now, can you guys, if you guys don't mind, can you go on this whatsmyip.com and can you just paste your IP address in the comments or in the video chat, please?
Yes. Can I give it from my phone?
Yeah, that's fine. Your data, if you're on your data, is fine, or in your thing. Or yeah, if you're signed into your Wi-Fi on home, yeah, just get that, because that's public IP. It doesn't change as long as you're connected on. So you're getting the that's not your public IP, Manu. That's your internal IP.
Yes, internal.
I want the public IP.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to actually visit your home. We're going to actually come networking. We're going to come and see. We're going to come and see you. Okay, Simran has given me your public IP, and I think Simran, you're using Rogers, I think, yeah. Okay, let's check.
I'm not sure actually.
Okay, no problem. This looks like a Rogers IP address. Let me see. Yeah, you're using Rogers. You and me are in the same neighborhood. This is why I'm able to ping you. Let's see, Govinda. Govinda, you're not in my neighborhood, man. You're different. Let's try you.
Hi, sorry, it's 7 point. I wrote it all together.
Oh, okay. I see. In this one, right?
Yeah, 199.7.157.77.
Oh, sorry. Okay. It's 199.
199. I'll write it again.
Sure.
157.77. There you go.
Oh, like this. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, I see. Okay, perfect. You see, when I do Govinder's IP address, right? It's saying request timed out. So this, remember I told you this only gives 10% information, is because one, I don't know if it's my side issue or where is it stopping at, right? If you don't think about it from an analytical standpoint, this is where a lot of beginners make mistakes. It's like, oh, that's not reachable, that's probably dead. But it's not. It doesn't mean that. The easiest way to see is trace route. When we do trace route, we can actually see where this gets stuck. That's where the real important comes in. So right now, this is at my first router, and this is going to go to my second router. And now we're in Rogers. So it actually left my house already now. So it's leaving Ajax now. It went to, I think that's York Mills, I think. Rogers, but yeah, now it's at a different place, 69. Banu, can you post your public IP address too, if you don't mind, please? Thank you. Thank you.
So, sir, I have a question.
Mhm.
So on the like I can see on the rows on stars request
Mm-hmm.
timeout, it says like is it a like a kind of private or hidden
Yeah, two things.
mechanism?
Two
Okay,
things, right? One, it could be that it's a confidential. It's a confidential. They don't want to release it. Most likely, the case is the route is not available. It could not go through. Something is blocking. It's just saying that imagine toll road. You're going in a toll road without paying the fare, right? It's like no, you can't enter it. It's telling you can't enter it. You're not authorized to come through here.
okay, thank you.
And it'll do until 30 times and it'll fail. But I'll open up another CMD while this is happening here. And let's do Banu's thing, because I already did Simran. Simran, you and me are in the same neighborhood, so we can talk to each other, which is which is very easy. I can now let's do, if I do ping and let's do 142.116.78.14. Same thing, Banu, your IP address I will not be able to ping. I'll give you guys my public IP address too, so you guys can try. See my IP.
Is there any specific reason like why it's showing request timeout? Because we are at two different places.
Not two different places, and I'll show you just for request timeout. So me and Simran were not the same place, but if I do 199.217.16.205, right? This is Simran's public IP. So, but this is pinging, and I'll just explain why this is in a slightly in a different way. Okay, so imagine. Again, I'm going to come back to my drawing here, okay? Let me extend this way. Okay, so let's say if we do this. Okay, now let's say we have shit, I drew that bigger than I thought. Okay, my apologies. That's okay. Again, I'm not trying to favor anyone here, but okay, let's say here, this one like this, okay? Rogers, what is the other one? Word. I'm spelling that so much incorrectly. Virgin. Okay, so imagine they're like different countries. So because I'm in Rogers, this is my home, and Simran's home is right over here in Rogers. We're all in the same country, okay? As long as you're in Rogers, you'll be able to communicate with each other very easily. That's the reason why when I ping Simran's IP address, what she gave me, I'm able to talk to her. And the reason why you guys were Simran, Banu or Gurvinder, I'm not able to talk to you guys is because you and me are not in the same country, our same street or whatever it is. We're not neighbors, and it's because they want to keep some sort of remember. remember I told you that one network can only have 4.3 billion IP addresses, right? It still falls under here. Rogers has their own big. We're all a small node. We're all just a node compared in Rogers world. In Bell's world, they're all just a small node. Like just like how your end device, your computer is using, your router at home is Bell's computer, like node to them. Does that make sense? That's the reason why, like they can't if they start allowing interchangeable connections, they can't do so much customers. You know, it becomes very complex for them, and they have to upgrade their. Remember, these system what we have in Canada, they're almost 30, 40 years old. We haven't done through major upgrades yet. That's the reason why now you see recently they made changes saying that all the 3G phones will stop working. You have to upgrade to a 4G phone because they're just upgrading now in the next year. The IPv6 is slowly coming in, and it's not. IPv6 is not even it's getting pushed on not because of new device, it's just because they want more clients. Come on, right? And that's the reason why when I try to ping Simran's, it goes through, because me and her are located in the same Rogers' country, where you guys are in two different countries for me. And right now, they don't allow us to talk to each other. That's the reason why. Okay, and just to let you know here, if we do trace route, let this happen for you, Bono. So I'm going to come back here with Gurvinder's. See yours, at least for Bono's, I can see it's Virgin Mobiles. It's Virgin Mobility, okay? But Gurvinder, I can't talk to you, man, because but the thing is, from here, what we can see is here. Like clearly, what we can see is that this has left my home. This has went to Rogers. Now Rogers tried to get it to them, right? But I could not communicate is because there's a block from the network host, whoever the company is. They're just saying, no, we don't allow intercontinental or whatever the communication methodology is. And this is where it's important. Imagine going and telling your team lead, hey, I can't ping, right? Then going into your team lead and telling, hey, I tried to ping. I tried to connect. It didn't work. When I did a trace route, it seems like it's going to the network and it gets stopped there. There's not much we can do. See the level of information that you're passing, right? That's where the success ratio comes in. You know, that's when you're working as someone with follow the script to, can you be improved? Can you actually have analytical skills in between, right? That is the level of thinking. You know, if you're going to come in and tell me, hey, it's not working, the first thing I'll ask you is like, okay, so what did you check, right? What type of troubleshooting you have done? Because we all have internet in our home and our hands, right? We can quickly search up why is this issue. ChatGPT. Use ChatGPT. Who said you can use ChatGPT? You know, but use it and never have the answer I don't know. You know, at least be like, I'll research and let you know. But coming back to here, if you see here, now if this information is, remember the ping was just, no, I couldn't contact you, but rather this, you see, we even went to Bell's server here from Rogers. We have some sort of Toronto interlink to Bell server, but because Virgin is still under Bell, it's still considered as a Bell subsidiary services. Just a fun note: Bell sold their mobility services to Motorola just day before on Friday. So there's some new changes happening in Bell Canada. So for their government projects, not the normal Bell, but the Bell has like hundreds of different companies internal to them, right? So one of them got sold to Motorola. But here, so if you see here, you went to Bell, and Bell passed it on to some other people, and after that, it just stopped. Most likely, it's an interconnection between Virgin and Bell's interconnection. But Rogers and Bell do have some connection. But even if you have Bell at home, it will still stop because it still doesn't allow for full communication. Because if they do, then it becomes a complex process of maintaining it, and then we lose some IP addresses and everything, right? Maybe in the future, maybe in 10 years from now, yeah, they might allow for a direct connection. You don't need to, right? We don't need to be honest. Secure-wise too, it's the most secure to have that connection turned off. We don't need to connect. At home users don't need to connect, right? If we are business, then we can. There's special cases. We can do inline VPNs. It's called virtual private networks to connect. Does this make sense, guys?
Yes.
And the reason why these works. And here's the thing, right? With this, it'll try a maximum of 30 hops. Even if it passes before it, it'll stop. Just like remember for Simrans, I showed you. I think it stopped. Oh, we didn't even do Simrans hops. Okay, so if we do that here, and this is where it you'll see, like when you start working and when you develop these type of information and this level of analytical skills, you'll see a different approach from your team leads or manager, because now you're doing actual work, you're trying to learn something new, you're trying to get more information to pass it on to the next team, right? So networking team, you might not be able to configure the switch or the firewall, but let's say okay, so let me get to that. So you see here, I went to her router within 8 hops, and it went through some Rogers. It's all within Rogers channels, and then through one, and it reached home from my home, okay, from Ajax. But yeah, so but for you guys too, which is very good. I remember one of the batch, we had like 6 students, and all 6 of them were Rogers or AT&T. There's one student from thing, so we couldn't even show this example. So I had to do my phone, which is FIDO thing. But this is very good example because it shows that why it's passing through and why it's failing. And when it's failing, you need to understand where it fails, because failing does not. It could be 2 things, right? Is it failed on our side or is it failed on their side? If it's on their side, let's pass information on to see where it fails and see what we can do to help them, right? You might not be able to help them because your role might not allow you to help them. But once you start passing this level of information to your networking team, that might get you that, the golden pass to be part of the networking, our system admin, our cybersecurity, whatever your future goal is, right? Is you need to start fulfilling what's currently we have. Okay. So this is perfect. Any questions from you guys? No?
Sir, I have a question.
Go on.
So I'm not sure, like, is it a basic thing to ask or not?
No, ask
So,
that. Don't worry.
so like we check, like, if we are reachable to one specific address or IP address. So what is the use, like when we troubleshoot, like use to check, like if somebody's like why their internet or not working or something like that?
Good. No,
So-
that's actually a very good question. So that's a good question. So I'll repeat, Gurvinder, just correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. So you're asking, okay, we checked all this, right? What will be the main purpose of it, right? You're asking.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. I'll give you 2 or 3 scenarios. Okay. So you're working in a help desk. Somebody calls you and be like, hey, Gurvinder, I'm not able to log into our remote services to do some maintenance. Okay. You're like, oh, how come? And you ask them, what is your computer name? Usually on a corporate environment, we have something called an ASIC tag. Okay. I'll show you how that will look like. And each company to company will slightly change, okay? Where they place it and how it is. In your company, they'll tell you. And I'll show you here. I'm just trying to see an example picture just to show you. It's called an ASIC tag, okay? Yeah, so they'll look like this on the laptop. Yeah, so imagine like this. You ask them, hey, what is the ASIC tag, okay? It'll be like maybe like, CIOT 002 or something like that, right? Remember DNS, we talked about DNS, right? If you do DNS, you can translate the name to an IP address, right? So what you can do, let's say they tell you it's CTIOT 004, something like that, right? So you do ping CTIOT 001. It'll fail because I don't have anything here, but they're like, oh, okay, I'm not able to ping you, which means that you're not connected to the corporate environment, corporate network, okay? They're like, okay, you're not connected to a corporate network. You'll ask them, hey, are you at home or are you in the company, right? They're like, no, I'm working from home, man. Okay? They tell you, okay, I'm working from home. You're like, oh, are you connected to the VPN? They're like, yeah, I'm connected to VPN, right? And you're like, no, I'm not able to ping you. If you're connected on the VPN, I should be able to ping you by the ASIC tag. Now you can ask them, can you tell me what your IP address is? I have config, right? You'll ask them to type in ifconfig in CMD, get the IP address. If you know, remember we talked about this. If you know your corporate IP address is something that's like 172, it starts with only 172.168.1, and they're in like 192, something different from your corporate environment, you already know they're in a totally wrong different network. They won't be able to work unless they're in the same network range as you. So you'll ask them to, can you log out of VPN and log back in? Once you log back in, you'll tell them to, can you redo the ifconfig command again to get the IP address, okay? Now you'll see that, okay, they're on that same network, which is 172.168.1. whatever it is, whatever the company's IP address is, okay, the ranges. What happens in that case is, if it's working, then now when you do the ping, you'll see if it goes through or not, right? Let's say if the IP address is the same and you're not able to ping, what you do is you do a trace route to see where it's actually getting stuck. Is it actually leaving your computer, the technician, going to the router, and you'll see it actually go to the VPN server, and VPN server, is it hitting the device, or is it getting stopped, or is there no connection at all? You know, that's what you'll document. That's one scenario. Okay, Gurvinder, does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
And I'll give you another scenario. User calls in and be like, hey, Gurvinder, man, I have a tender that I need to submit, but I'm not able to go to the government website they gave me. Somehow I'm not able to access it, man. I know for sure this website's working. I looked at it from my home yesterday. It was working from my home computer. And you're like, oh, okay, let's do a ping, right? And you see, oh yeah, ping is failing. Okay, ping is failing. Okay, and the next step you'll take is, okay, why is ping failing? Where is it at our fault or is it at their fault, right? Is the website is actually down? Right, what you'll do is you'll actually do a trace route to see where it stops. And you find out that it doesn't even leave your company. It stops right at your firewall. Like imagine your router, remember that 192.168.1.1 I showed you in my side over here? If I open up this one, see this one over here, this is my firewall. Let's say this just stops right over here, then nothing after this, which means that my firewall at my company is blocking the connection to release out. So you'll take the information, you'll pass it on to your networking team, be like, hey, this is a government website. Can you test it and whitelist it and make sure that it's resolved, so the client can put in their submitted document.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the second scenario. The third scenario I can give you is, those are two. Those are very two good. I'm just trying to think of another scenario where, and from the past, that these are from the past, which actually happened in the workplace. Okay. The other one is, okay, I'll give you another one where they're not, they're in the office, they're trying to print to the printer in the office. They were able to print yesterday, yesterday, day before yesterday, I'd say day before yesterday, and they came back, their Wi-Fi is working. They're able to do all their work, emails and everything. They're like, hey, Gurvinder, man, I'm not able to print, right? And you ask them, yeah, okay, no problem at all. You ask them for the asset tag number, you try to ping, you couldn't ping them, which instantly tells you they're not in the office network, okay? First thing, they're not in the office network. The second thing, you ask them to open up the CMD, can you tell me the IP address you see? Now, you already know they're in the office, so they should have a range of IP address that you already know. You should know. So you're like, oh, that's not the range, man. Can you actually check your Wi-Fi name, which one you're connected to? And you see they're connected to the hotspot on their phone. It's because they're probably working from, what do you call, Starbucks this morning after coffee, and they forgot to disconnect from their phone's hotspot.
Oh, okay.
These are some of the scenarios, right? And you'll face some. This is something regularly you face in IT support.
Okay. So basically, we use tracer to detect the issue, like whether it's from our side, or
yeah, where it's stopping. Where does it actually stop? Because it doesn't even leave our computer, or doesn't even not leave our computer. If it leaves our computer, does it travel through our router? Remember in the last week's slide I showed you, in a company environment, there's a router, there's a firewall, there's an access point, there's a switch. It's all divided, right? We want to make sure it's traveling across all those and going out. And once it goes out, we can clearly see here too, right? Like we can actually see exact route it takes till the destination.
Oh yeah.
So we want to know where is actually stopping, and like if it stops, doesn't mean is it actually not accessible for us, or is just not accessible at all? Is it dead? Those are two things, right? So, but in our vision from networking standpoint, even if it's blocked like this request timeout, from us it seems like dead, but it's not. It's probably you're talking to me now. It doesn't mean you don't have network, right? You have network, right? But from
Yes.
my standpoint, from a networking standpoint, it is secure. I don't have access to your network. And that's why I cannot assume you're dead, but I can assume that I cannot access you. And I know for a fact it's already left my place. This is not in my hand anymore. I cannot fix this. This is something on your end, and I can pass this information on to in a very corporate environment. Let's say if two companies are doing a deal and they want to set up a server, and you can't connect, they'll be like, "Oh, it's your fault. You run this report," and you tell them, "Okay, listen, it goes all the way to here. It stops in between. It's already left our place. This is now on your side. It doesn't leave your side, right? It doesn't come to your side. So here's a report. Go ahead and fix it." Now they will contact their ISP and figure out a way to come over this, or they'll do something called a direct line of VPN. So they'll have one dedicated VPN server here. You guys will have one direct VPN server here, and it'll do a virtual private network. It will connect. It will make a connection to virtual.
Okay.
Site to site for VPN, it's called.
Okay. So
And those
this
are
is
all
like
networking. Those are also way to networking. But for your thing, you have to memorize. You have to memorize that traceroute is a very good tool. It should be in your arsenal to use right away. If you think that pinging is failing, where is it failing? Your question should always be how, why, and when. Like, why is it failing? Let me get to the point, right? And it should not be like it's not working. Your answer should never be open-ended. It's not working. I don't know. It should always be, okay, why is it not working? Here's the detail why it's not working.
okay, sir. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. Very good question, man.
Thank
you. Next thing that I want to show you is, trust me, I don't have too much. We're almost done here. Okay, I'm not going to bore you guys too much, and there's an assignment here afterwards. And I think I might have to switch screens here. Give me 1 second. Let me see what is here. Oh, yeah. Okay. So the reason why I switched the screen, so you guys can see the Wi-Fi, and things, these type of this bar over here in the bottom. Okay. So if I click on this one, so you see this is the Wi-Fi icon, Bluetooth icon. This airplane mode is for, I don't want to turn this on right now because then I'll lose network connection. You guys won't see me. But let's say if we go into the Wi-Fi icon over here, and you click on this information, I think that comes over here. This gives me also information about the adapter, okay? IP address. Remember the CMD which we looked at? The CMD version makes you look cool. If you want to do this one just to get more information, you can. One of the things that I do want to focus on here is, 1 second here, updating Wi-Fi drivers, not this one. Advanced Wi-Fi network properties, edit over here. No, not this one. Okay, so yeah, okay, sorry, yes, here. IP address assignments. You see where it says automatic DHCP. Remember I showed you this is getting my DHCP. You might think, okay, how do I change this to static? Just to play around with, right? Or sometimes you might be asked to assign a static for, remember I told you there's only 2 things that you should be assigning statically. What are those 2 things? One for sure.
So like
Server?
the broadcast.
No, servers. Remember from last week's thing I told you, servers and printers should be statically assigned, right? Because you don't want the printer to change every 2 days or every 24 hours. Remember, what is our lease period on this Wi-Fi? What is a command we can use to check the lease period here? Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
Sorry, ARP command?
No, for the IP address, the lease time, to check the lease time.
Mm,
That's okay. It's IP config.
all.
/all, yeah, which will give me all the information, right? And part of the all information, I'm getting a lease time. Lease obtained. I got it, when is it? 21st. On the 21st, last week Sunday at 8:12 p.m. Oh, last week Saturday, 8:12 p.m. Is it after your guys' class? Oh, okay. I probably turned off, and turned on my computer probably renewed. And this will release tomorrow at 3:20 p.m. So tomorrow, my router will take back this IP address and give me another IP address back. So it's set to every 8 days, I think. That's what it is. 8 days or 8 days. Yeah, 8 days, I think. Yeah, 8 days. It seems like 7 days, 7 to 8. So I think it's just shy of just more of 7 days, 8 days, I think. So every 8 days, my IP address will renew. Remember, it's a home, right? Nobody's highly frequently coming in and going out, So that's what it tells me. Okay. So this is where it tells me. So if you're in corporate environment and you check your release time, sometime it might be set to only 8 hours, and every 8 hours it will update. Okay, and you'll see here when is the next release renew time. The renew time is. Next is, remember, I told you you can actually see the like YouTube.com. There's now only one server for YouTube.com. YouTube.com will have multiple servers just in case if one is not available, it will send you to another one, right? It'll all be identical, but just to manage this, the traffic, it'll have multiple just so it can manage traffic, and you can check what that is. There's a command called and I can't remember the name right now. Give me 1 second. It's called ns lookup. Sorry, ns lookup. ns lookup will show us all the DNS servers assigned to. Let's say if we do youtube.com, you see here youtube.com has these many. And what is this, guys? Can someone tell me what this is?
IPv6.
IPv6, yeah.
Very good, both of you. It's very good. And this is our IPv4, right? But you see here, there is 4 different servers. Just in case if one is down, youtube.com can still route to a different one. But whereas if we were to do this to the CTEC training site, there's only one, because I don't have that much. There's not billions of people coming into our thing, right, to view. Eventually, someone will at one point, but right now there's only 68 students, right? But I don't need too many servers. But that's the difference. Which means YouTube. When you type in youtube.com, you can be any one of these. It depends on the traffic and the latency and everything. Same thing with Google. Because they want to make sure that Google's never inaccessible. There's always a google.com or google.com servers available to you when you type in google.com. Remember, I told you this is why it's important. The name goes to an IP address is because we can change the IP address to whatever we like. As long as you remember google.com, I can change to whatever IP address I like as a company owner, and you wouldn't even know the difference. So for me, customer retention, and it's easy for you to remember and easy for me to maintain. Every time I change the server, I don't want to be like, hey, can you, Simran, can you memorize his number? Hey, Bhavna, can you memorize his number? Hey, Govinda, can you memorize his number? I don't want to go and tell you 8 billion people in the world, So, but as long as you remember google.com, it'll come to this. It's easier, okay? Very good. What else? Road ping. I'm just trying to see from my notes what I want to cover here. Okay, so we saw this one, right? So you see how this is assigned to DHCP. If I go here and click on edit, I can actually change this to manual. I'm not going to set this to manual right now. It'll disconnect my whole meeting and everything, okay? But I can actually set this to manual. And there's... Yeah, that's how you do. And Windows 10, it changed slightly. Windows 11 changed slightly a little bit thing. But this is the thing you're going to see now. And this is where you go here and to change that static, okay? In Windows Server, it will change. Usually nowadays, it's recommended you don't make the change in... you don't make the changes on the computer itself. You would put the changes on the router, okay? So when if something you need it to be assigned statically, you will let the network admin know, and the network admin will make a reservation on the router itself. Okay, he'll tell if this MAC headers ever comes into network, give this IP address. So remember I told you the IP conflicts. So this IP conflict would never happen. The router will not allow the same IP address to be assigned to two different MAC addresses, because they will say, okay, I already have the IP address assigned to someone else. Either remove them, I'll let you add it, or choose a different IP address. It's the smartest way. It's a foolproof way. Rather than me, if I add it in here and I have another laptop that's using like the 20, both laptop will not connect to network, right? Until I change one of them to different IP address. Okay, very good. Okay, so go ahead.
Sorry, just have a question. What impact it will have if IP assignment will change to static or manual?
No, nothing. Like there's not much impact, right? So let's say this. If I was to give the same IP address that I have assigned right now to manual, I won't have much impact. Even the router will understand this has been assigned manually now. I don't have a lease over it until this device releases it. So it'll try to not, it won't give it to anyone because it's already been assigned, right? It can see that somebody's having this IP address. I'm not going to take it away from them because I cannot take it. The router will be like, but where this will have impact is, let's say you again manually apply the same IP address to a different node, any node again, right? Both computer will not have network connectivity. Could not be able to do any sort of network communication until you change either one of them to different IP address. You remove them out of the IP address, because it's the same scenario, right? Like Canada Post is trying to give you a mail. There's two homes right beside each other with the same IP address. They're like, what the hell, man? And they're like, I'm not going to do it to both. Come and get it from the office. That's exactly what will all happen in the networking point of view too.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys for this lecture. Everyone got everything right? And don't be shy, guys. Ask, if you don't understand, ask again, and I'll try to put in a different scenario to explain it. Okay, because end of the day, some people will only understand when it's on a different thing, right? So I can give it to you in many different scenarios to help you understand. Okay, give me 1 second here. Okay, so what I want to show you is, the other one is small assignment, nothing too big, okay? Go back here. How is the LMS for you guys? How is the access in the LMS? I know, did you guys all have an access issue with the LMS?
Yes.
First time. I'm so sorry. That's my bad. What I did was, I think, I don't know what happened. I put the end date as the same date as the start date. For some reason, I put 19 as the start date and 19 as the end date. And that's the reason why it never happens. And I just go in and check. I was like, you guys are already there. I enabled you, but I just saw that the end date was set to the same date. We don't do any end date on the LMS, okay? You guys have unlimited access to the LMS until the LMS server gets switched or something like that, okay? Okay, so in here, your assignment's right over here, okay? So this one. It's a very simple, very easy, whatever we worked on the classroom. It's just so you guys get used to doing the, the assignments, okay? And I'll show you quickly here. So just for the people who has Mac, just do this in the Mac, okay? Nothing too complex. It just talks about ping, and you're gonna just talk about ping scenarios, okay? Trace route, and it's just gonna show for the IP config. Just do the IF config, okay? And just put screenshot. When you do the screenshots, take the whole screen, so I see the date and time and the whole screen, okay? Not the small section. And you guys can do, if you have Word on the computer, it's easy to open this up in Word. If you don't as well, I'll just open up Google Docs, and whatever the question number is, just put the question part 3 and put the screenshot, and the questions just answer the question 1, question 2, question 3, okay? That's all, nothing too fancy. If you have Word on your computer, I'll show you a very good, easy trick to edit PDFs. So what you can do is you can open. Oh, why is mine not activated? Oh, okay. You'll just do open and browse. Go into the one you just downloaded. This is the one I just downloaded, right? And where I just open the PDF. You can actually open a PDF in Word. Enable editing. And you can just, go ahead and paste everything in there, answer the question and do it. If you don't have Word, not a problem. Just do it in Google Docs. But when you send it to me, please send it as a PDF in the email, okay? Not in the LMS, okay? When you email, it shows you exactly this one, just your first name underscore last name underscore network assignment .pdf, okay? It's supposed to be. Put it into your Gmail, send it to me with my email and CC CTech Training Center, okay? The subject line, just put in network assignment thing and put the PDF document in there, okay?
We don't need to keep others in CC while sending the assignment.
Not assignments, not assignments. When you normal communication, you can have everyone there. For the assignment, is just to myself and CTech Training Center as CC, okay? And if you ever lose the email, not a problem at all. In your LMS, you have both of our emails here, okay? You can just copy from here. And sometimes, guys, this Google link, I don't know what it is. I noticed in 2 different classes now, the Google ID just sometimes meeting changes. Okay, and I don't think I've seen this this class. I never seen it change, but because I felt so bad because I actually was very disappointed. I thought Google Calendar. I just wanted to see. I think your guys' class link did not change OU, yeah, FMX. Because randomly, okay, you guys are okay. Because one of the classes, it was just the Google Meet link was changing, so just wanted to make sure. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so you guys are okay. But yeah, what I was going to say is, yeah, that's assignment. It'll be due 1 day before the next class, okay? So you guys' next class will be week 3, and it'll be due 10 p.m. before the class due, okay? Just send it to me by email, and we'll review it in the next class. And next class, we're going to be starting Azure, okay? We're going to be starting to work on Azure, but please, before you come to the next class, watch the week 3, and also sign up for the Azure account, okay? Sign up for the Azure account. Please do not go ahead and sign up for the Microsoft account yet. I'll tell you when to sign up because there's a 29 days trial period. Okay, I don't want that to start right now. When we start, that's when we sign up. Okay, so I'll tell you guys all about it. I'll tell you exactly when to sign up.
Maybe I already have created Microsoft Azure account.
Microsoft Azure is fine. Azure is fine. Just a 365.
365.
Yeah, you didn't do this for 365. Azure is fine.
Okay.
Did you do 365 already?
I'm not sure. Like, I don't remember now, but
okay.
I tried to somewhere either on Microsoft 365 or Azure. Something.
When was this? Like, this is after you joined the course or before?
Before.
How long approximately?
Maybe in February.
Okay, that should be okay. I don't think that'll be an issue. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the reason because once you open up trial account, I think they don't allow you to open up another trial account for 60 days, I think, under the same name. Okay. What you can do is you just open up a brand new account and you do it. Not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, that should not be an issue. It's because you have a 30-day trial and we'll try to finish everything on 30 trial. And if you don't, you get charged for it. That's the reason why I just want to make sure you guys don't end up spending money on it, right? It's unnecessary. So, yeah, I'll tell you guys when to exactly go ahead and sign up. And if you guys have any issue, I'll walk you through. Don't worry about it. But please create the Azure account. It's completely free. And this video will show you how to exactly create Azure account, okay? Step by step. So before you guys come to the next class, the assignment should be handed in on, next class will be on April 4th. So April 3rd, please have your assignment handed in and have your Azure account created as well, okay? If you guys have any issue, you will need to let me know before the 3rd with the Azure account, okay? So we can work on it and complete it because on 4th, we're gonna jump into Azure. And then 11th and 18th, you guys will not have any live classes if you guys saw your calendar. These are to be worked on with your assignment, okay? That's the reason why we want to make sure, because if you have any issue on the 4th, we can fix it and you can go ahead and start doing assignments. Okay. All right, guys. Any questions?
No, sir. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Everybody, how was today's class? Everybody liked it? Everybody got everything?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good.
Much of the basic concepts are clear now, specifically the DNS, the usage of gateway, default gateway.
Very good. Very good. And this is exactly what it is. We call it as the foundations, right? Once you understand the foundation, and this is what I tell everyone. When you're working with IT, right? How do you find out if you know enough? When you ask someone to explain to a little kid, they should be able to explain to a little kid so the little kid understands, and that's when you know a lot about the concept. That's when you have enough knowledge about the concept. If you cannot explain to a small person, individual, you don't know enough about the concept. Then we have to still go in and study, until the point you can sit down a 6-year-old and teach them this. That means you don't understand. Okay. And trust me, I can teach it to a 6-year-old. So you guys are way ahead of it, so no problem at all. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Gurvinder, you have something, man? You want to say?
No, sir. I'm good. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay, guys. I want you guys to take off. I'll give you guys 15 minutes back. So you guys take an early night today and enjoy. It is going to be a bit cold this week, I guess. So watch out and warm up. We're almost there in the summer, so one more weekend we should be in summer. It's just summer's coming and going. We'll get there eventually.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, guys. Have a wonderful night and have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy and have a good night. Okay.
Yeah.
Good night.
Thank
And,
you.
and again, once
Thank
the
you.
video has been uploaded in the LMS, I will send you an email like last time as well. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you.